everybody. At this point, we are ready for the Microsoft Word unit exam. And I just wanted to take a couple of seconds to point out that you've gone through 3 chapters of the textbook. And I will fully admit the textbook is tedious to work through, but I also wanted to point out the value of taking the time to do that, if for no other reason than to familiarize yourself with the vocabulary associated with the software. And I want to take a couple seconds to show you the advantage of having done that. And I think that will help you, not just in the unit exam you have coming up, but for the rest of the course. And also after you leave the course, and need to do something in Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint or Microsoft Access, or literally any other thing that you have to do using the computer. So in Word, and I know they covered this in chapter 1, I'm going to pull up Microsoft Word. They talk to you about using the search box in order to find functions or things that you wanted to do. So if we in Microsoft Word have this, I inserted this picture just a second ago. If I want to add a shadow to this, let's just say, and I don't remember how to add a shadow to this, I can use my search box to give me a tip as to how to do that. So if I just put in something like, and I'm looking for keywords here, right? Because we learned through the text how Microsoft uses vocabulary to identify certain functions. Okay, so if I want picture shadow, I just put in some keywords here. Picture shadow, so you should usually get me what I want. And you can see it gives me some options for different picture effects. So rather than literally taking me back out here to the menus and trying to help me figure out which one of the dozens of menus to choose, it isolates those to a few things. And so here I can see, oh, there's my shadow drop down right here. And I can go find my shadow just by identifying that through the help. Okay, so that kind of shortcuts me to what I'm looking for. So now this search box, I'm just going to tell you this search box hasn't always been there. So quite frankly, that search box may change as Word products evolve. So that may or may not work as well as you wish. And let's be honest, we are in the age of AI. So that's something that you also may want to use to find answers to questions that you're looking for. So for example, I use Gemini a lot. I also use ChatGPT. I'm not advocating for any AI, large language models over another, but just telling you that these things might be helpful for you to figure out how to perform functions if you've forgotten those. Because again, let's be honest, you're not going to remember every point and click that you learn in the course. So later on, you may have to default to, oh, I know it will do this. How can I figure out how to do it? So same thing with ChatGPT or Gemini. You can put in, and these things are really very forgiving in terms of how you prompt them. So you really don't need, what do we want? Picture shadow. Sorry about that. You really don't have to worry about being a prompt engineer. Just get the keywords in there, and then you can change the prompt if you don't get what you want. I'll just put in how to here as well. So here, probably ChatGPT is going to give us some instructions for how to do that. And then you can try those out. I would suggest that sometimes these things work, sometimes they do not, but it gives you kind of a first start to how to get there. Also, with some of these large language models, they are maybe 9 to 12 months behind the times, depending on whether or not you're willing to pay for a more recent version. But this is a good starting point also. So also I would suggest that if it gives you a link to click through, to chase that kind of citation type of thing, I would suggest doing that as well. That's one way to do it. Also know that you can search your text box, and I'm sorry, your textbook, and this will come in handy as well. So here the limitation is, like if I put in picture shadow, It may or may not find that. In fact, I think it won't, because what this search for your textbook does is it looks to find, yeah, see, it didn't find anything. It says nothing to see here. It looks to find exact matches for what you typed in. Large language models don't look for exact matches. So if it's not looking for the words picture and shadow together. And neither is the Microsoft Word help. The search here also is looking for more, like, does it generally meet the needs of whatever keywords you typed in? Okay. So again, my suggestion in doing your unit exam, and in the future, when you are trying to remember, oh, how did I do that? Take several options. Think about different ways to do that. First, I would start inside the program and use any kind of search feature, or the help feature is also here as well, where you can prompt to ask for help. So start there, then branch out to things like large language models to get some how-tos. Click through those large language models to get it to give you your sources so that you can kind of verify those as well. So those are ways that you can kind of adapt on the fly. If you don't remember exactly the points and clicks, use keywords, use vocabulary that you've learned to help you with that. So hopefully that's helpful. Keep that in mind on your unit exam as you are working through the instructions. I do give some hints there, and I do in my instructions use keywords that Microsoft Word would understand, or those large language models would understand. So use all of your resources. And of course, feel free to reach out if you have questions. Reach out to me. Have a great day, everybody.